guys. My 5x5. I see all you guys in here. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'm 5x5. Let me know if you can hear me okay. and then I'll move forward. It's been a while. What's it been, about 2 weeks? 2 or 3 weeks since I've been up here? I can't remember. Thank you, Miss Sharon. Miss Sharon's also want to let me know that, well, you'll be up there talking, and then I think StreamYard and YouTube is not in sync, right? But anyways, let's go see who's in here. Thistle Moon, how are you? Hey, Grizz, Robin, how are you? Hey, Darlene. I got your message. Also, email me. The comment you left, email me. Hey, Butterfly, how are you? Coffee, Saffron. If I miss anyone, I'm sorry. Miss Sharon's in charge. You know, she does all this YouTube-y stuff. She knows what's up. Katrinka, how are you? Hey, Colleen. Hey, Gypsy. Good to see you, Sandy. I appreciate all you guys. Make sure you're in. Hey, Billy. You're in all chat, live chat, whatever it is. All that good stuff. Hey, Sandra. I appreciate you guys. Hey, Michael. Good to see you. So anyways, y'all freezing? I shouldn't say anything, but I'm freezing. And it was like 28 degrees later last night. It's cold. There's frost on everything. I'm not used to that. I even put it in my thing. I was like, we don't have this type of winter clothes. We got on all the warm clothes we got to go outside. And those animals are kind of like, really? But it is cold. It is chilly. I think we're supposed to get rain off. But, like I said, we've been kind of in a drought since we had hurricane season. Since we had that flood, it was like, it's become, it's all or nothing. You're flood or you want a drought. That's all we got. I want snow, Miss Sharon. I love snow. I don't like ice, but I love snow. But Huckleberry and the kids don't want to go where it's cold, but whatever. So I guess I have to go visit in the wintertime. It's places that snows. Anyways, I mean, if it's going to be this cold, if it's going to be in the 20s, 30s, 40s, then I want snow. It's just cold. You have no snow? I know, Coffee. I always ask. I'm like, I just want a white Christmas. Doesn't matter where I live. I want a white Christmas. Rarely happens. More ice, Miss Sharon. Okay, yeah. See, that's what I don't like. The black ice and the ice, or it's like a ton of ice and it snows on top. You don't know. I want what I want. Is that so much to ask? Right? Rob. Oh, it's just cold. I did see. Okay, I saw a video this morning. It was a weather thing, kind of like Ryan Hall, y'all. And I think they said we're supposed to get 3, as in we, as in the United States, we're supposed to get 3 major winter systems this winter. Guess we just had this Arctic blast, and then the next one is called an Arctic plunge. I think is what it's called. I think that's what they're called. Huckleberry, correct me if I'm wrong. And they were showing it. Hey, Shady Zone, how are you? Anyone I missed? I appreciate you. I'm sorry. And if you have anything for me, put it in all caps because I'll get squirrel and miss it and everything else. But I guess the Arctic plunge is supposed to be, it's coming way down. And they were talking about like freezing temps all the way to the Caribbean. So I don't know what that's about. I think that's supposed to come in sometime later in January. But anyways. Cold and windy. Yeah, Michael, we're supposed to get rain all day tomorrow too. Again, I want it to be I want snow. If it's gonna be cold. Hey Tamara, I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, Tiger. Loretta, if I've missed you, I'm sorry. But I'll get over here. I'll get squirrel and I'll get behind on chat. That's just the way it is. The lighting looks weird, doesn't it? Maybe the sun's moving. I don't know. Sorry about that. Anyways, what did you say? Oops. Coffee. Exactly. I want my farm in the mountains on the beach. That's our big joke. I just want what I want. I guess I'm a brat like that. They always joke me. Because I love the mountains, but I love to be at the water. And I want to have my farm, but, I don't know. We're bratty like that, I guess. Yes, Miss Sharon, tell them. You're supposed to have another massive. Yeah, so there's supposed to be something with another system coming down. I thought the guy said, what did it say anyways? I thought he said like around the 22nd or something like that. I don't know if this helps if I close this. I don't know what that is. Is that worse or better? The lighting looks weird on my end. Anyways, hey Sunset, Gazing, how are you? Thank you for the prayers. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know where a lot of it does look weird and hazy, doesn't it? I don't know what that is. It wasn't like that a while ago. I have no idea. I have no idea. Is that any better? Is that better? It's coming in the side. These windows. Sorry about that. I'm not real fancy over here. Okay, I just like click the buttons and it's like, kind of what you see is what you get, and like to, I'm like, okay, live, cut it off, upload it, whatever. I'm not fancy about anything. Hey TT1, how are you? Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody. I probably am. 39. I think we're 45 or something is our high today. We were in the 20s last night. Like I was saying a while ago, we're supposed to get rain all day tomorrow, which we need the rain. Like we need the rain, but oh, see, you called me. I know I'm not real steady with my stuff. Yeah, Michael, that's what I saw. I saw a video this morning. I should have put it. I have to go back and see who it is, but the guy was just like, it was supposed to be crazy how far down it was coming, and they were calling for like ice and just really bad. Like I think they call it winter mix. It's probably ice, sleet, snow, stuff like that, freezing rain. Thanks, Huckleberry. I don't know. It must have been the lighting changed. Anyways, it's supposed to be pretty bad. So we talk about those things. These are while we practice a lot of preps, a lot of people think, oh, we're prepping for doomsday, end of the world type stuff. No, this is, we've had shift situations and prepping situations needed when we had hurricanes and floods our whole life. That's just how it's been, and so many of y'all have had the same type of thing. And I just think that this winter is going to be, hey South Florida, how are you? Good to see you. Anyone I've missed, I'm so sorry. I'm going to get squirrel, it's either getting squirrel or getting behind on chat. I can't do both. I'm sorry. But, my main thing is worrying about places that aren't used to that, or if there's heavy ice and different things, and you talk about lines and things like that coming down. And I just always pray that people have alternate heat sources, because that's what worries me is, people are going to freeze. It's no other way to put that. I've told simple things, even like I talk about those hot water bottles. We have tons of those. If you can boil water out on fire, outside, on a grill, anything, and you have those hot water bottles, you're going to keep yourself warm. You're going to get some hot tea, broth, whatever your situation, you can warm it up, and you can get your core temperature to stay up by having that internal as well. So have those things in your preps, because I think this winter I just think it's going to be weird. Absolutely. I'm serious. What was it? How many years ago when it was that ice apocalypse stuff that happened in Texas, and the grid just couldn't take it, couldn't handle it and stuff like that. And then there's areas like, that aren't used to getting that. Yeah, I hear that. We're like doing 40s, 50s, maybe high, getting lows in the 20s at night. But that's if you take away nothing else, have those type of things. Hot water bottles type of things will keep you alive. Yes, wood burning stove. We have a wood burning stove. Those type of things will keep you alive. And I've had people say that, and I've seen it, and if something else, they were like, we had nothing inside, but we did a burn barrel outside and we stayed around the heat as much as you can. Again, hot water bottles, wool blankets, wool socks, different things like that. Because especially wool, if it gets wet, you're still going to be okay. Yeah, that's kind of how, 20, it's been like that every year. It just kind of add up. I was talking to roaming prepper Pete. I was talking to him earlier, and I was just like, 2025 just kind of kicked the door in, and then the walls fell down, and I kind of expected that. Kerosene heaters, all the different heat sources besides depending on the grid. Did I say 2021? Are y'all talking to me? Or did I say 2025? Sorry, guys. But, oh no, it's been like that for several years, right? And those, hey, Saffron. Oh, you're here from now. I heard you. I saw you were baking a cake over there. Let's see what you got to say, Jim. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's terrible. I hear a lot of people about different things with fires. Fires are devastating. I'm not talking about the big thing. I mean, individual fires, things like that. Fires, floods in a minute. In a snap, everything that you have accumulated, the sentimental stuff, the preps, all that can be gone. And that's just devastating. No, they don't. Oh, yeah. You know what I like to have is the houses that you remember the houses that they're older houses. They don't make them like this anymore unless I mean I guess they can make new builds, but they used to make the fireplaces and it was double sided, so it went through both like two different rooms on each side. I think those are great to have. They don't make them like, but I don't like anything modern and new. I'm kind of an old soul always, anyways. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you, Coffee, how'd that go? How'd your tallow go? We always learn and tweak as we go. I get asked this a lot. I mean, I feel like a lot of nonsense has been going on, anyways. I mean, look at California. I think there's always going to be distractions. I think there's F flags, if you know what I'm saying. Who knows what you can say here on YouTube anymore? I think things like that. I just think there's going to be stuff like that going on, but I don't know as far as anything major. I hate to say that. I think they're pulling a bunch of nonsense. I think that I do think. I don't know. I really don't know what to think that they're going to do. Put it in the chat, guys. What do y'all think? You think there's anything going to happen before the 20th or on the 20th when they do that? What? Really? There's a lot of places. If you go South Florida, they don't have heaters in their house. They don't do that in South Florida. So, hey, CV Farmer. Yeah, I love a wood stove. I hate electric forced dry heat. I mean, any of it will dry the air out. When we had to do our wood stove, we would just put like a pot of water on top, and it just steams out and helps them. They put some humidity back in there. I just have to do that. Yeah, that's why I throw mine in the crock pot and I let it go for 24 hours. I think the last one I did it was like 26 hours. Because I just let it go. And I don't have to worry about it and leave the stove on so long and stuff. But everybody do their own. And then some people do it on the stovetop and they do it at a higher, not high heat, but a higher heat than the slow. And I think it goes a little faster that way if you do it on top of your, in like a big pot. Oops, sorry about that. Hand of God. I think there's so much that plays into things. There's so much that we're seeing that we absolutely know is the end times. It's in the good book. These things that we're going to come to pass, and no man, no politician, no modern technology is going to stop things because it has to come to pass. We're seeing that. We're seeing spiritual warfare, and we're seeing, and I think spiritual warfare, and we're also seeing the man-made, created type things they're doing. I think it's a big combo of a lot of that going on. I don't think it's just one because, I didn't say who or what was going to do all these things. He just knew it was going to come to pass. It was going to be man doing it. It was going to be on the spiritual side and things. That's my take. Personally, I think it's a lot. I agree, Miss Sharon. And that's the whole thing I say about don't let anything consume you. Be aware what's going on, especially, locally for each of us individually. You need to know what's, at your front door, in your community, in your region. You need to stay on top of that. And you need to know globally. You need to know, but don't let things consume you so much. So much is out of our hands. And no matter what, I feel like we should always still be doing what we need to get done. But then also, we are still in the land of living, and you need to enjoy life. You need to enjoy your family. You need to enjoy your peace and everything. You still have to have all that. That's just, can't forget that. Let me see. If I've missed anybody coming in, I'm sorry. I feel like they'll try something. Yeah. It may be a bunch of, like individuals that may try to do some nonsense or whatever. But then, there's alphabet boy setups that go all over, and we know about that. I think that is going to happen regardless. That just happens. They're going to do that. Hey, Kelly, good to see you. Yeah, I mean, nothing's going to surprise me at that point. It's like I'm kind of expecting something, but I'm not fearful of something happen. My main thing is being ready. And I will say also, and I've been talking about on my channel, I make sure I'm not missing anything over here. If you got something for me, put it in all caps, please. Hey, Florida man. Absolutely. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Sorry, see, I'm going to get over here. Yeah, please, thank you, because she knows how I am. Because I'll get squirrel over here, I'll be behind on chat, or I'll miss somebody by accident, and I don't mean to. That's kind of where I am, Loretta. I'm kind of expecting something. Where's Josh? That countdown is like we got 12 days, 10 days, 9 days, on and on. Is I kind of feel like that, but I don't have this like nervous, like, oh my gosh, I'm wringing my hands. It's going to be, and this is just my opinion. And those who are feeling like, on the 20th and thereafter, the economy's going to be fixed. There's going to be a magic gate that just closes up things down south, and everything's going to just push some buttons. Boom, boom, boom. Everything's going to be fine. I'm sorry. Please do not let your guard down for what you need to be doing, thinking that somebody's coming in to fix things. Okay. Just don't fall into that. It's all theatricals. Okay. It is what it is. What's going to happen is going to come to pass, and nobody's going to change it. But anyways, that's just my sense. I will say that, and I've been talking about my channel. There are a lot of people sick. And I'm seeing a lot. I'm getting flooded with things, and people I know personally get on me, calling me, texting me, emailing me, YouTube, community, different things, people I'm seeing out and stuff. People are sick. Everyone's sick, and people's like, oh, it's that season. So I told y'all about cold and flu season, what that's about, and what you need to do. And yes, things happen, and you get sick, and that's our immune system's going to do what it's supposed to do. Hey, yard birds. Good to see you, sir. Always in here. I love his sense of humor, and then he'll throw out scripture underneath it. He'll let you know about yourself and then give you a verse about it. Anyways, you're going to make me squirrel. I just feel that you need to be prepared for a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff I'm seeing is respiratory stuff. And yes, there's a high, there's just a big thing of norovirus is going around. It's kind of an off season for that to be going, but it's very high norovirus and stuff. So, everybody died from dysentery and Oregon Trail, right? You can get dehydrated, type of things to do for that, and make sure that doesn't happen. And, things are different now, but that can happen. If somebody's elderly, children, weak and immune, that can get up with you. Besides, I feel really bad for about a week or several days or something, I get over it. But the respiratory stuff, and I told you now, you know how I am. Do not chase labels. And my faith in testing that they do, whatever. But they're going to categorize it how they want. They're going to run. There's certain ones that, I worked in that system that, they run in that work. But certain ones are nonsense. But I have people, the point is I have people over and over telling me I've been swabbed for C19, the flu, the strep, the this, everything, and everything's coming back negative, but I am so sick. To me, I don't know that it matters what the label is unless you're going bacterial or viral. And I've talked and talked and talked about that. And then there's things I talk about, and it doesn't matter if it's viral or bacterial. There are certain things that will cover both sides of that. I think it needs to be done, so I try to help out. But there are a lot of people seriously sick, and it hits them very quickly. And they said it's different. It's not like it's not like when I had, C19. Kind of feels like something, maybe a hint of that, or maybe like a flu or something. But they're just like, and then a lot of people I'm hearing, they're like, the cough is lingering, respiratory stuff is lingering. Okay, let me see. I see some capitals. Yours and Josh's video about the object was over the top. Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, I don't know if Huckleberry, you should be able to put a link down there. He was just happened to be on last night and saw something. We saw a video last night, and it's videos that people are taking and they're putting all over, and it's even like on the news is just doing coverage, and people are recording and saying, "Did y'all see that?" It was just the news coverage type of thing. And then there's people around, and they're seeing objects and different things. You do what, how you believe it. But there was a one up there, and it was like, that is exactly how that thing we saw moved. And it's in that, we just happened to see it last night. So lots of lung issues. Yeah. Let me start it. I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. When that was all hot and heavy, and during that time, and everybody was covered and everything else, the amount of fungal infections in people's sinuses, nasal passages, their bronchioles, and down in their lungs, in their mouth and everything was unreal. The amount of people that developed MRSA and fungal infections and fungal pneumonia was from that. You cannot do that. That stuff grows in that. I worked in the OR. I worked in all kinds of stuff, and we would be covered. You did not do that for that long a time. You just didn't do that. That is not healthy for you. That's not how you prevent. And the particles of pathogens do not. Let's talk about following science. That does not block those type of. The size of that doesn't block it. Don't do that to yourself. Please. Which video? I'm not sure. Oh, good. I mean, get what you can now, really. Hey, KP. Good to see you always. How you doing? Are y'all freezing down there? I know a lot of places. Yeah, there is a lot with the pneumonia people are seeing in that level, and walking pneumonia and different things. And there is a pneumonia. I just don't know. I have not got it up yet that if I can say it on here, but there is some doctors that are giving out information, and they're saying we are seeing this certain type of pneumonia that is going around airborne that I have never heard of before. I don't know if I can put it up on here, to be quite honest. I just don't know. Oh no, I see somebody's kiddo sick. Gosh, really? Do you have silver? I mean, if you decide that, you can gargle that. Hey, Pure Blood, I haven't seen you in forever. How are you? Good to see you. I mean, store-bought as far as like if that's what they sell. The big thing you need to look for that you want to go for 10 parts per million. Okay, you want to go for 10 parts per million, and our generator, that's how much it makes. And you want to make sure it doesn't have additives in it or preservatives or anything like that. But you can. Usually the thing is it's so expensive to buy it, like and I am not affiliated. I'm not affiliated with anybody. If it's something you're going to use regular, it's going to pay for itself. The generator will. But yes, you can. But I would look for 10 parts per million that doesn't have additives and it doesn't have preservatives in it. That is going to be your key about that. But yeah, you can. A lot of health food stores and different things. You can buy them online and stuff like that. Okay. Okay, strep. Strep can get in your GI tract. Some people can have strep in their GI tract, and um, it won't be like the yucky white stuff in their throat. That can happen. Um, but if he had already been on antibiotics, especially if it was a broad spectrum. Anyway, I mean, I have to be careful on here, and it's up to you about your stuff, and you're welcome to email me. Did they have them on a broad spectrum one? That shouldn't have come about and developed if you're on a course of that. That doesn't add up. Or if he was on one that was gram negative or gram positive, it was something to treat something else. I don't know, but you can. Some people get very sick, GI sick wise, if they have strep. But they usually strep, you're going to get a high fever, and it's usually very acutely. You'll get a high fever. If he was being treated for something and he was getting better, and he spiked a secondary fever, and he had been more than 2 full days, 48, 72 hours without a fever, then yes, he has something secondary. Strep, you got to pick up somewhere. Strep does not come from a secondary infection off of something else. Like how you can get pneumonia. Like you can have a viral infection and develop pneumonia, but strep is a particular bacteria you have to pick up somewhere. So if he was somewhere they picked it up, then that could happen. That makes sense? You're welcome to email me. I have to be careful on here. Yeah, okay, there you go. About the 2-minute mark. But I am praying for you. I'm praying for your son, Kelly, for real. Anyone I've missed, I'm sorry. Oh, I am so far behind in chat. Look, I told y'all, this is just what we do on Sunday chat. Okay, this is just what we do. I'm sorry. Weaken immune system, yes. Gosh, I'm way behind. If you have something for me and I missed it, or if I haven't gotten into it yet because I'm so far behind, put it in caps. But gargling silver, olive oregano and garlic, and having apple cider vinegar with the mother. You have to dilute it. Don't ever, ever, ever take apple cider vinegar without diluting it. It needs to be diluted in a glass of water. That'll help balance the pH, and then things can't grow and stuff like that. But the gargling silver, the olive oregano, the garlic, stuff like that. 2 things I do not play with, though, and I've said this over and over. I do not play around with strep throat, and I do not play around with pneumonia. Untreated strep throat will turn into scarlet fever. Scarlet fever will damage your heart valves. I do not play with those 2 at all. I just don't. I get right on that. Yeah, the Deagle report, and we're seeing a lot of that coming. Yeah, this is where I get mine. I am not affiliated. I trust that brand. They've always been really good to me about everything, and helpful. I've had mine for 12, 13 years. I've never had an issue with it. The price is way up compared to when I bought mine. Of course it is. But if that is a choice of treatment that you choose, do what's best for you, read my disclaimer and all that nonsense. It will pay for itself. If it's something you're going to use very regularly, if you have a large family or something, the amount you would, consume versus buying it pre-made is very expensive that way. Then, that could be that. I think that product is the most expensive med prep that I recommend. And I'm going to be honest, I do. I think it is. But again, do what's best for you. Let me see. Well, it's a big fungal thing. Now, before you just up and start eating coconut oil, anyone, and first of all, it has to be unrefined, it has to be cold pressed, it needs to be organic. If you eat anything besides that or use it for medicinal purposes, it's not going to work. Unrefined, cold pressed, it needs to be organic. If you have never had coconut oil, it will wreck your world. I'm going to put it just what it is. Coconut oil is wonderful for your thyroid. It is good for if you have candida. It is anything type of fungal. It's viral, all those type of things. But you better just skim the surface of it on your finger and eat it and build your way up very slowly. doing coconut oil. And of course, make sure you're not allergic to coconut oil. Coconut is very rare, but some people are allergic to tree nuts. They are allergic to coconut oil. My oldest kiddo just happens to be allergic to it. And I use it for everything. That's what I use on my face, on my skin. I mean, we use that for everything, internal, external. I use it all the time, but it can help that. But I would not just all of a sudden go in there and get you a scoop of it and eat it, because it's going to mess you up. It just can. And some people can't tolerate taking it internally that much, not at high amounts. Now I'll take a little bit of it and we put it in our like coffee, and it's in there and it's fine. It just depends. Oh, Shady Zone, I'm sorry. Thank you for stopping by. Have a blessed day. You're probably already long gone. Hey, Gigi, how are you? Oh, with chat, I saw it'll show a bar on the side. That's how back I am. Wait, what? Is there a waiting list for that? First of all, I'm very sorry that there's a waiting list for that, but thought I'd tell you something right there. I cannot vouch for any other generators. I love that company. Now, Steve, the guy who owned that company, has passed away, and somebody has ever taken over it. But their product, I can stand by their product. And when I've had mine, and I used to call, I had a call early on for different things. They were very helpful and very kind. And if you have one or you plan on getting it, I advise you, even if you haven't gotten it yet and you're on a waiting list for something, which that is insane. I'm going to look into things and I'm going to see what I can find out as well, and see if I can help things out about any of that. Is you better get you some more. Go ahead and pre-order and get you some more of the silver rods. I would advise doing that. Now, they last a very long time. You clean them a certain way and do everything. I have a video about using that machine and doing all of it. You took it down because they're soft and they got issues, but it is over on Rumble. It may be the very last thing I uploaded, because as soon as I got a hit over here, I made sure it was over on Rumble. It is over there. But that's crazy. But that ought to tell you. I will find out. I'm going to look into that for you guys. I may have to put it on Rumble, and I'll put a link over here on YouTube. But I'm going to find out. But for all of you, I will look. Okay. I'm going to help you. I'm going to see. Hey, Shannon, good to see you. I do. I don't know, Sandy, if you saw my video about the test results that came in, that they were testing that thing. I absolutely do. I had put out, I believe on our channel, we had really heavy fog. And I was out in the morning. It was really foggy. And there was times at 10:30, the fog was still so thick, like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning type heavy fog. It's 10:30. I mean, I went out early, but that's how long it lasted. I'd go up in the morning, and I was feeding the livestock and everything. And my throat, I had a cough. My throat was burning so bad, and I was just coughing, and I felt bad afterwards. It was like, it absolutely was an exposure feeling. And it was like sinus problems, and I just did not feel myself, and I had a headache, and it didn't turn into anything. But I thought I better start purging and doing some detox stuff, because I've been exposed to something. But that's my opinion. Now, I'm not saying that all fog, because yes, fog naturally occurs, but they're not going to let an opportunity go. They're going to disguise it into a natural something and fit it in. That's just what they're going to do. And there's patents. If you've been following me, there are patents on that, them using that for bio stuff. It's been up there. So it's out there. In my opinion. Somebody may have already answered you. It's the Silver Edge. The Silver Edge generator for that. If that's what you're asking about, if I'm not, I'm sorry, I've gotten mixed up here in chat. But apparently there's a waiting list, which is insane. I'm gonna look, because I speak with those guys sometimes, and when the new owner took over, I'm gonna get up and see what's going on what I can. And if it's really going to be 6 months, I'm going to do research and find a recommendation that a company that I say that I could trust and tell you guys. Um, if you, um, okay, wait a minute. That doesn't surprise me. Anyways, I'm going to get up with them and I'm going to see what I can find out. And, and the generators are going to be one of those things. If you find one on a really like, oh my gosh, this one was so cheap and such a good deal. I'm not saying you can't have sales and good deals. You're probably going to get what you pay for. So be careful about that. You need to make sure it's a legit thing. And I've said this and I understand. And believe me, mine was way cheaper than what they are today because I've had mine 12, 13 years. And I've never had a bit of a problem with it. That you are getting a quality of what you're making. You're not just, it's just not doing anything, or you're making something that can make you sick. So I just don't know. I'm not saying there's not other good ones out there. I'm very funny. I'm like, I'll stamp my name on it, or I'm like, hey, I don't know, but ask someone around, because I won't unless I have experienced myself. I have no knowledge of it firsthand. Yes. Now, Gigi, when we had that stuff going on here, I was having issues. You know how your face will feel like if you have like wind or chemical burn on it? I had that. And especially around the edges of my eyes and opening my nose where the mucous membranes start and everything. I was having stuff like that, if that's what you're talking about. But I have heard people having like that same type of stuff, or someone would kind of get a mild rash or something. I have heard that. And then that's what my experience was. Yeah. We were seeing certain things and it was leaving like a white residue if there was something that the fog had dried on. We were seeing that. So that's so stupid. Yeah, but I heard a lot of people getting fired from their doctor's office. I've been with this doctor forever and they fired me as a patient because of that. There was hospitals not treating people because of that. Again, it was a trial run. They're going to see how much kickback they can do. It's about control. It's about their agenda. It's about guinea pigging us down. It just on and on, add it to the list of what it was. It's just what it is. But that's what they do. But I think we had the most of it was like in December. No, end of November through December, we were having that crazy fog. Wow. Yeah, there is. She's not up here. She probably wouldn't care if I said, but I'm not going to. But she's around up here in these things. She's a good friend of mine. She lives a couple hours south of me, and they had worse fog than we had. They had it really bad. And she's like, our whole community, our whole neighborhood, we are all sick, like incredibly sick. And she was getting up with me and she was really sick. She was like in bed. She was really sick, respiratory stuff, weird symptoms. And then she was like, finding out, she's like, our entire community right here, like the whole, kind of their street area, everyone, it was through Christmas stuff. Everyone was sick at the same time. She said it was the craziest thing. She said we didn't even see stuff like that during sea illness being so heavy. It was weird. So the information I've been getting and being told and shown is in those heavy, dense areas where they were seeing the heaviest amount of that. It was those clusters of the same sickness all on top of each other. And yes, that's how, normal, natural viral things can spread that way. But that was it's just different. You just have to really pay attention. Hey Shannon, how are you? Good to see you. I got do I have all my Shannons, Sandys in here? I have a bunch of Sandys too. Yeah, I did have that watering, like my eyes would water and stuff like that. I didn't end up getting sick. I was like, I feel like I've been exposed to something. But that's me. I just I just be aware and know your body. I say that all the time. Know, be in tune with your body so you know what things on. And if you're exposed to something, you're outside and you're exposed to something, come in, do a shower, rinse everything off of you. That's your first go thing. You need to do probably a sinus rinse. I always put sea silver in mine, 5 to 10 cc's of that in a sinus rinse mix, the bottles have those, and go ahead and flush that out because that's how everything's going to go. I'll usually drink, if you've been with me, I call them hot toddies. They're not, I don't know. That's just what our family calls them. But I would do something like that. Like, it's like hot water, honey, apple cider vinegar, lemon, cinnamon. I put cayenne pepper in mine. I drink something like that. If you keep your garlic and honey ferment going, eat something like that, just go ahead and do a flush, wash off and everything if you've been exposed or out to something like, hey, I've been in stores before and I've been like cookware. I feel like I was exposed to something. It'll feel like a chemical or something that was going on. And I will do that process real quick. Don't even let it take cold and go ahead and get it out of your body and off of you. That will help. That is a go-to. Let me see. I don't know unless it went to I've emailed you before. I haven't seen it unless I just happen to miss it, but usually I'm pretty good. I have no idea about that. Because there's the issue with, I can't really comment on that because it's not a natural thing I can sit there and go when you've had, because it could be anything from surgery. I've heard about people getting, when they have sinus surgery, if they have to thin that bone at the top. I've had people, who have their sinuses hollowed out more, the secondary infections I've heard. And because you're on antibiotics and steroids, I can't really comment on that, to be quite honest with you, because you would have to go back who did the surgery, because I don't know what they saw and what they looked at and what they did. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I can't help you with that one. Yeah, I'm hearing all kinds of that. Hybrid type of little bumps people were getting. Well, thank you, TT1. I think it's been like, it's been like 2 weeks. What did I do? One right before Christmas or something like that? I don't remember. Let me see. I can't say if that's safe or not because I really don't know, and it depends your quality of the silver that you're using. I don't know. I can't. I'm not saying it's not. When I say something like that, I'm not saying, oh, I don't trust that, and you have to have this particular thing. I'm not saying it's not, but I can't say that it is because I don't know. I don't know about it or see exactly their products that they have. I'm not saying that you can't do it that way. I can't really comment and say yes or no, to be honest. I don't know. That's ridiculous. Don't get me started on the medical field at all. Oh, you haven't had any fog. I see a lot of people haven't. That's good. People are asking me like different things. I just know and again, it was regionally, and I've talked before, if they were going to do certain things, it wasn't going to be the entire United States for everywhere. They were going to do it in regions for different things. Flooding, fires, fog, pathogens, bio stuff, grid, whatever. It's going to be in regions. That's what I think. And we've seen them do that type of stuff. Yeah, I was about to say, I didn't say it because it's not, but I knew that you were in here, that you had that. If y'all could help each other out, maybe y'all can email each other or something. That's fantastic. I think everybody should do that. Tinctures, infused oils, dried herbs, all your stuff. Learn how to do it. I know it seems overwhelming at first if you've never done stuff like that, but start out small and very safe, simple, well-known things, and then build up from that. And then it doesn't seem so overwhelming, but every little bit helps. I appreciate it. I appreciate my replay gang. I appreciate you guys, truly. All of you, I do. Y'all make all this happen. I've heard, you know what? Because both of y'all put this in the thing, y'all put it out publicly or whatever. You know, I've been hearing more of this about this, and I want to know what is causing this uptick in these and their non-cancerous type thing. What's going on? And I'm hearing it, sinus cavities and different things, and I've heard it would break loose. And everyone so far that I've heard, they said, well, I kept going in, they kept treating me. They were treating me for months and months for a sinus infection, kept me on antibiotics, all this type of stuff. And then it turned out to be something. I don't know if that was both y'all's path of how that turned out, but I'm curious to see why this growth is happening. And that is it some type of an exposure your body is trying to encapsulate and get rid of? I don't know, but I am hearing that. I do want to bring up something. Thank you, Kelly. I try, and I don't have all the answers by far. If I don't, I will try to direct you to someone who does. Has anyone, and I know everyone's, their region and everything's different, but our animals have been acting crazy. They've been acting weird, especially yesterday. Our dogs and our cattle are acting weird. And so, you know, at first we'd like, well, maybe there's moles, because, you know, dogs they'll hear moles or anything. But no matter where our dogs are out yesterday, our one bigger dog, Thunder, he would bark at the ground and frantically start digging, which isn't his kind of thing, what he does. But it didn't matter where he was. It wasn't like one location, like, oh, you can see the tunnels moles do. Wasn't seeing that. Dug up our whole banana tree. And I'm talking about and frantically barking, just, it doesn't matter if he gets in trouble. It's like, I have to do this. He was acting weird with that. And so was the younger puppy we have, Rue. But then she would act scared and want to get in the house. When he was inside, he would not relax. He's a pit. And if you know how they're vocal and they're big old babies, people think they're, you know, for us family stuff, they're big old babies. He would whine, this pity whine, and would not settle. He would pace and acted on edge, unsettled all day yesterday and last night. At the same time all that was going on, our cattle were pacing. They were going back and forth, and just that mooing when they're calling you, or they want to be fed, or they're trying to get your attention. And so I have Meadow, she's my goat, who's big pregnant. And I thought, well, maybe something's going on with the herd because they're all together. You know, is she about to go or something? But she's not ready. Is something going on? So I checked all that. And I need to go back because I wanted to see something, but I'm going to miss it. They were acting weird all day yesterday. And so, you know, you think about, because animals know and feel things way before we do. So, you know, you think about things and you think, oh, when people have earthquakes, I've never known one to be down here. I'm not saying there is, but there are sinkholes in Florida and stuff. And I don't know. I don't know what was going on. But then I was looking, I was like, I didn't see anything in our region. But then I did see a couple of things. I don't have TikTok or anything like that. And it would come up titled, but I couldn't watch it because I don't have that. And I'm not making that account to watch anything. Some people were saying my animals are acting really weird, and they were doing little TikToks about it. Because anyone's animals been acting weird. I don't know what's going on. The full moon's coming up. But you know your animal's personality and when things go on. They were yesterday. I mean, everything. I love it about drove me crazy yesterday because I was like, nothing would calm or settle down. It was really weird, and that isn't how things usually are. I don't know if anyone has been seeing or feeling in your animals. Let me know. Now it may not be because I'm in a different area than you are. I think I addressed that, but you're welcome. Let's see. This is what I didn't want to miss because it was on all caps. Thanks. What would you use to make your oregano oil? Okay, so an oil. People need to understand when we say oil. I don't use essential oils, and I don't make that. That is different than like an infused oil. Like when I make mine, it's an infused oil, and I use olive oil for that. There are certain ones where I will especially if I'm doing like an infused oil that I'm doing like a salve or something, I'll use coconut oil, but it's usually going to be like a pure olive oil. And that's how I use my infused oils, if that's what you're asking. But those are it's usually always for an infused oil, it's olive oil, or it can be coconut oil, but usually olive oil. Um, hey, yeah, this is what I was talking about. I put on the comment, you had asked me about this in one of my, I think maybe one of my videos or something. Email me, KCLittleOwl at Gmail. Email me about that and I'll help you out. I mean, I would ask about the steroids. Steroids can do some weird stuff like that. Yes, there's things that it can be good for. You want to get that, they want to get that inflammation and the swelling and stuff down, but I don't know. I would ask. Okay, see, that's Michael. That's where I was. Something you could tell they were sensing something because he was just like, I don't care if you're fussing at me because I'm digging these massive holes and I dug up the banana tree and you're about to lose your mind with me. It it was like a frantic and it's a barking at the ground and widespread areas because we have all this land. It didn't matter if they were out in the pasture or the back or the different fenced area. Something is going on, and the cattle were acting that nervousness, like, "Hey, mom, get out here! Something's going on. I'm calling you." Like they were, and it was almost like how they start getting around feed time, or if you're getting the tractor out and you're going to bring some different stuff. But it was just a pacing weirdness. Now today it isn't like it was yesterday, but it was definitely something was definitely off. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like if they hear like loud noise. It was just our dog Thunder. He would not settle. He would not settle down at all. Nothing was calming him. And he didn't act nervous. He didn't act nervous or scared. It was just like I've I've got to get to whatever's in this ground, and he just won't settle down. You could tell something was bothering him. Hey, Michigan, that's okay. That's okay if you're late. I appreciate you. Hope everybody's doing well. Still continue prayers for you and your family always. Yeah, there's a lot of different things. I don't think I can say it on here, but I'm gonna do it anyways because that's how I do, and they'll slap me or whatever. I used a rife machine when I was bad off sick. I had horrific Lyme disease. I mean, it about took me out. I had it really bad and co-infections. There's different types of frequencies and stuff you can use for that. And people think if you get into it and understand the knowledge and educate yourself on it, it's not as kooky as it sounds. But yeah. Oh, okay. Let me see what you said. Did or did not at work? They didn't act any different. And see, I mean, I'm in Florida, so I don't know. And then today it's not. It was weird, and there wasn't anything like obvious going on around here. Um, I don't know. I think so. I'm not 100% know that brand. I mean, I don't buy top of the line, whatever. I just make sure it's. I usually make sure my stuff is like I get like if it says organic or non-GMO. Because you don't want to put extra chemicals in your body if you're, especially if you're using it for something medicinal. That's what I use. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Hey, Craig, how are you, sir? Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, because I got up with TT1. He's family, and I was like, come get your dog Thunder. He's driving me crazy. But it was kind of alarming because because dogs can sense things. If you're in an area like there's going to be earthquakes, and here I think I said a while ago, my big thing was um sinkholes can open up in Florida. Not like right now this season or the way that the weather or anything's big, probably not. But I was just like, I don't know. It was just weird. He was acting weird. Hey, Allison, that's thank you for being here. I understand. I watch different things and I'm constantly listening. I'm never in chat, so I totally get it. I'll give him that thumbs up and 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 love and everything, but sometimes I just can't be in there. You do life first, right? Yeah, the frequency stuff. People who know me and everything. I have suffered from. I go through phases, especially barometric pressure migraines. I'll get that, and there is a frequency thing that you can play, and it does help ease that off. And it's a frequency. It's for migraines. It's a thing that you can play, and it does help. That's what I wonder, because they've talked about, we don't know where somebody, the bears, this, and things are under, or something's going on. Now, whether it's a man-made situation that's going on, or spiritual end times, things are going to be shifting and changing with this world and earth. I don't know. But I just know that, and I tell, like, even growing up and still to this day, and because I'm not comfortable around people, but I am with animals and nature, like big crowds of people. I just don't. But you can learn if you like, and if you've been in like different places, how birds act. Birds are very sensitive to things. If you know how birds normally act in your area, and you don't even pay attention to it because you're used to it, but then you'll notice when they start acting, it'll alert you when they start acting different, or they go completely silent, or their behavior is different, or they start flying lower to the ground than their normal height and stuff like that. You need to be on the look for something. Same animals, wildlife, your domesticated animals, everything. I suggest you learn your animals around your environment, what is native to your area, wild animals, and knowing your, like, my herd, my livestock. I know them. I know if something's off. I can be in the house and I can hear if one of them calls and their tone or something's different. I know that something's going on. Learn that, because they're gonna know way before we're gonna know of anything like that. I encourage people to do that. Absolutely. See, Craig knows what's up. It is your first line of defense, even if it's a protection type thing. If somebody's coming up, your animals are going to know somebody or something's around here way before you did. When we were having issues with coyotes, it was during the day, and there was this huge coyote. It was such a, you hear, there is my thunder out there barking right now. This was the big, and we're used to seeing things. We're in the middle of nowhere. And if you have a farm, you always have predators. This is just never anything with predators and watching this stuff. There was a coyote out here during the day, a lone coyote, and he was so big. He didn't act rabid. He didn't have anything like that. It was the biggest coyote I've ever seen. And he was very dark. He wasn't the colors. We don't have wolves here, but he looked like a wolf. He was so big. It wasn't a dog. And he was up here trying to get my livestock. But way before, Thunder let us know. And again, I know his personality, his bark and different thing was different. Like he's barking now. Somebody's pulled up or something. Now that could be somebody lives here and he's just saying somebody is here. Your animals, know your animals. Know the birds in your area. They're going to tell you. See, that may be it, Michael. I need to look into that. If you got information, exactly anything's going on, email it to me, if you don't mind. There's something was different. There's something going on, and I think that they can sense it. Yeah, watching nature. It'll tell you. Your cat does nothing. Well, cats are a whole different thing because they don't care. They're like, you're on your own. Sorry. Some cats, will let you know. But yeah, I know how cats are. We have outdoor cats, but yeah, your animals will tell you. They'll let you know. But anyways, I do want to say, closing up 2025. I hope if anything you're catching from going into 2025, and hear me when I'm saying this, I'm talking about on a man level, not a spiritual level, because God is going to help us, is I hope everyone firmly grasps going into 2025, because I see a lot of people's like, whew, oh man, we're good to go. Everything's going to be great and back to normal and no issues. That as kindly as I can say, when it comes to man, nobody's coming to save you. And I mean you as in us and all of us. The things that are going to come to pass, the things that they're going to create, the destruction, the chaos, everything. Nobody's coming to save you. And that is why, and that is not a fear thing. Before anybody jumps up into it, that is not a fear thing. That is a reality thing. And that is don't not do something. And yes, but but don't let it consume you. We do what we can. We leave the rest to God. You do what you can, but don't think that, wait, about something. We can look, California is a prime example. What is going on and still now, and it's happened in Western North Carolina and even there on East Tennessee and some of Virginia. I know Western North Carolina gets the most attention, but I know there's other people right in that area, East Tennessee and stuff also. Nobody's coming. Nobody has been coming. And look at what they're still at. And they're in this winter and the people are trying to survive in tents and cars. Don't get me started. All of that, all the stuff that went up in Ohio, that toxic poison wasteland, that what they created up there, you don't hear anything about that anymore. Maui, well, you don't hear about that anymore. Central Florida, from the hurricanes, Helene, Milton, Debbie, all that. I hope that people realize that. And they're going around. I'm going to close this on some scripture, because they're going around and all these summits and these meetings and the WHO and all the alphabets, everything else, and all the world leaders and all that mess that they're doing. If you go and watch those things, you don't have to watch the whole thing. We're doing this. Peace and safety, peace and security, peace. I mean, they're like little robots over and over and over. You hear them saying it. They've been saying that since the end of 2024. They've been saying that. And people come in, hey, Kevin, I appreciate you. Hey, Sergeant Deacon. Yes, Rife Machine. If I'm, hey, Yardbird, good, silver. You know, I got smacked for that. But I did want to say, I want to leave y'all with this, because the Bible tells us, it tells us what's going on. And this is in 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they say peace and safety, the sudden destruction comes upon them as labor pains upon a pregnant woman, and they shall not escape. And that is what is coming on, because they are putting their mouth on it. We're doing this for peace and security, peace and safety for all of you. And the other destruction is coming bit by bit by bit, and it's going to continue. Again, that's not a fearful thing. That's a reality thing. And, you know, my trust and faith is in God, no man. And I think 2025 is gonna shake some people up. I just do, more than what the last 4 or 5 years have done. I think it's going to be very different. And you know, but again, do not live in fear about things. You do what you can. You leave the rest to God, because the end game, we already know what's going to happen. And help each other out. Your community, find your salads. Don't just trust anybody blindly. And that's just the reality of society. So I appreciate all of you. Anyone I've missed, absolutely. Kevin's late, y'all. Kevin's late. Thanks, Craig. I appreciate you, sir. Yeah, they do. They'll know. They'll tell you. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Y'all take care. Do the things. Exactly. Yardbirds, thank you. Hit that thumbs up on your way. It helps me and kind of just tells YouTube about their stuff. Thank all of you, truly. I appreciate you. And y'all take care. You know how to get up with me if you need me. Y'all stay blessed.